Good night, everyone. In this time, we're gonna present you this report from SMC. Basically, what we're gonna do here is an analysis about Google, starting with a brief history about the achievements of this company, and then we will mention about the SWOT analysis. So, in the first point, we're gonna remark how Google started. Basically, it was starting in 1997, in the year in which it was created, and they started with $100,000 to begin developing this search engine in 1998. Well, we're gonna mention some achievements because it's important to have a brief history about the very good success that this company have had in the last few decades, and it's very good to mention that Google joined with NASA, the North American Agency Aerospace Association, to produce Google Moon. Another important achievement is that they bought YouTube. Another one, and that's the biggest one, is they created AdWords. That is a very good tool for the engine, for the search engine, and in order to people to advertise their companies, their brands, or their firms. And in this moment, it's their very main and important product, and it's giving them a lot of profitability in their inflows. Well, another one is that they made a social network, Google Plus, in 2011. Well, we got some numbers here in order to remark the importance of the company in the development of the internet services and the most valuable brands according to the Forbes magazine. They are very good positioned in all the main numbers: in market value, America's best employer, innovative companies. In sales is the 121 place. In profits, the 25. That's a very good position. So some numbers of Google performance. In the meantime, we're gonna rename, or we're gonna mention, the mission statement. Google's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. In this matter, they are doing it totally with a very high level of success. Well, related to the vision statement, the vision to provide access to the world's information in one click. Well, in this point, as a company, as a consulting company, SMC, we suggest respectfully to change the vision, because in this moment the company already have a very high success on the vision to provide access to the world's information in one click. We have already that, so we suggest to change the vision statement. It's important to create a new one with a higher goal, with a higher target, in order to improve and to challenge themselves. Well, in this part, we're gonna start talking about the SWOT analysis. Basically, we're gonna start with the strengths. The first strength is that Google was the first in the market. They were starting in the beginning, and they were almost alone in the market. So that's a very good point, because they're gonna have, and they already had a very good impact in the market, and that's why they are first in this moment. The second strength is that Google has the majority in the market share with an 89.8%. So that's almost 100%. They have control of the global market in the United States too. Well, the third strength is that they always, you guys in Google are always using innovation, creativity, research, and development. And this is a very good point for a company in internet services and technology, because This is one of the most important points in order to succeed and achieve goals. That is innovation, creativity, and research and development. And mostly in companies with technology, they have to put a very good budget on the research and development in order to get innovation and creativity. Well, about the weaknesses. Oh, they already have poor advertisement, even though they are a very big enterprise around the world. We consider as a consultant company that the poor advertisement is causing some impact in the operation, because even though all the people knows Google's operations, not everyone is remembering all the time. So we suggest to work on the advertisement. The second weakness is that the complexity in the process of growing controls are less strict in this moment. Actually, they have a lot of people working around the world. They are purchasing companies, firms, they are starting new products, new projects, and all this complexity related to the growing process is making or is causing that the controls and evaluation of the processes are less strict. In this point, it can represent a very high problem and a very high risk of losing some ideas, of brain drain, losing some profits or other impacts. The third weakness is that the purchase of the firms without control, because they have a very good financial muscle, a very good financial leverage. So they are using all these resources, economical resources, in order to purchase firms around the world in the companies related with the technology and internet services, which is good, but it depends on what kind of companies or what size of companies they are looking for. So it's very important to put some control in the purchases of firms or new companies. Well, next we have the stuff related with opportunities. The first opportunity is evolution and continuing increasing in online sales and digital marketing. This is a very good opportunity in worldwide operations, because most of the companies around the world, they have 50% at least of their sales are made by internet, on online sales. So this is a very good opportunity in order to continue improving and developing the company around the world. Well, another point is that the digital marketing in this moment is the #1 tool in order to position some firms in the market. This is a very good opportunity for Google. The second one is of the good financial leverage. They have a lot of inflows, a lot of money coming, so that's a very good. But when it's opportunity, it's good because you have a lot of resources to invest and to create new enterprises, products, strategies, to sponsor some different kind of ideas. But if you don't have any control on this profitability, it can be dangerous for the company. The last one, opportunity, is that technology, internet industry, and World Wide Web constantly growing. As I mentioned before, in fact, it's important to mention that all the time from here to the future, the technology is gonna be growing, it's gonna be increasing, it's gonna be being better all the time. So this is a very good opportunity to develop new products, new strategies, new processes, new ideas. And Google has the most important asset in its company, that is human resource capital. So they are doing a very good job according to that. Well, the next one is the next topic we're going to talk about is the threats. The threats. In the first point, I highlight the high and strong competition in the market. This is a threat, as we see the competitors as Facebook, Yahoo, and the Microsoft company MSN. It's important to mention that the the strong competition in the market is growing every day. We were reading today that Facebook is the third company, the most valuable company in the world in this moment, the third one. So it's growing every day. Yahoo too, and of course Microsoft. So Google has to be very careful about the competition in the market. Google doesn't have to feel so sure, so confident about their market share, and they have to work on very good strategies in order to confront the competitors. Well, the second threat is lack of diversification. Even though they have a lot of resources and people working on creativity, new products, new services, we as a consultant company consider that a lack of diversification can impact the market and the profitability of the company, because they need to explode that very good ideas and that very good development. The research and development department, they have to explore it. They have to have better results in order to diversificate. When we talk about diversification, we talk about to penetrate new segments and new industries in the world, even in the world, country by country. For example, we suggest that it's important to create appliance, maybe, or start a new company producing microprocessors or some parts for the computers. Even they can start producing computers, hardware, among others industries. So it doesn't matter what kind of diversification, but it's important to diversify the market in order to have another different segments to attack. Well, the last threat is the high turnover rate. As we saw in the written report, the average person in Google is staying for around 1 year, so that's very short. That is causing that the ideas or brain drain that we call starts making a big problem in the company, because all the very good ideas and the people is always coming and going, and you have to train people when it's starting as a new employee. So this is gonna be a very, very high impact risk that we have to work on. Well, next point that we're gonna talk about is the main strategies to grow. Well, this is our position as a consulting company. SMC recommends and suggests 3 strategies. The first strategy is concentration. We suggest that the firm has to look for the ways to meet its growth goals by expanding its core business, by adding products or opening new locations where its market share or participation is too low or doesn't exist. For example, some countries that are mentioned in the written report, some countries in the north of Europe, for example, they don't have authorization for this company, for Google, to expand in those markets. So it's very good idea to start talking with the government in order to penetrate that countries. So in this concentration strategy, we suggest that those markets can be attacked using a very good lobbying with the governments. In the meantime, when or the participation, if the participation in the actual countries are too low, it's important to work on that, using new strategies, some tactics in the country. It depends on what kind of country, what kind of economy, sociocultural topics, whatever can impact in this matter. So our first strategy to suggest is concentration. As we said before, adding new products. That's an important concentration strategy. New products, as I said before, appliance, microprocessors, even satellite communication, in order to have internet services in the jungle, in the middle of the ocean, in a virgin island, everywhere in the world. The second strategy is to start designing new products. This strategy is a little bit related with the last one, because as we were talking about, we need to add new products. So in this time we have to start designing that new products in order to avoid purchasing of other firms or other kind of enterprises. Well, we show some examples of the designing of new products as computer and hardware projects, appliances, satellite communication, in order to improve that concentration strategy. The third and the last one strategy is we suggest an horizontal integration with Facebook. Facebook is one of the most important competitors of Google. In the meantime, it's a big company, and it would be a very good success to make an horizontal integration with Facebook. In this matter, it's important to mention that the company Google has to execute a legal analysis first in order to find out if the antitrust law is forbidding some horizontal integration between Facebook and Google. So it's important to make this analysis first in order to find out if the antitrust law is forbidding this. But if it's not, it's going to be a very good strategy. Well, in conclusion, our consulting company is suggesting all the related topics mentioned before. In conclusion, we say that Google should produce new products and services worldwide. New products. Google should invest at least 8% of its budget in advertising and strategies to open new markets and strengthen actual markets. In this point, as we mentioned before, Google needs advertise. Google needs billboards, TV advertise, radio advertisement. Well, they need to improve this part. Google should start projects to create new firms instead purchasing them, as we mentioned it before. Google should offer new benefits. In this point, new benefits for its employees to reduce the high turnover rate. In this point, we suggest participation in profits, or I don't know, give the employees some stock or some papers in order to have participations in the profits of the company. So this is a very good strategy in order to reduce the high turnover rate. As I mentioned before, it's 1 year. So 1 year is almost nothing, because most of the enterprises have at least 3 or 4 years as an average turnover rate. Horizontal integration with Facebook should be done. This is an important strategy and will bring some good results, because it's gonna be maybe the only one company or the biggest company in the world, and will have both strategies of both companies. So that's gonna be a high success strategy. Google should open offices in new locations and countries, as I mentioned before, for example in north of Europe, for example some countries where it's forbidden, as Iran, or other countries in which Google is having a low market share. Well, the last point is that we suggest to implement balanced scorecard and dashboard system to strengthen evaluation and control, which is highly recommended, because Google is growing very fast. When the growing inside a company is going too fast, it's very important to have a very strong control and evaluation system in order to avoid problems, to avoid losses, and it decreases in profitability. So it's important to work on the balanced scorecard and dashboard systems to to improve the performance of the company. Well, this is our report. We hope you like it. We made a very deep analysis to find out some problems inside the company. Even though Google is one of the most successful companies in the world, they have problems too. They have risk. All the companies have risks, and they need to work on that. So that's the reason why SMC suggests all these recommendations. We hope you liked it, and see you next time.